What we're going to look at today is something called sorting. Sorting is when you put numbers in order. This is an enormous topic in computer science. So it's in assignment 10. We're going to start out with 10A basic sorting. And for those who go on in computer science, you might do an entire course in sorting. So this is just a taste to let you know what's happening. What you're going to do is start with the code at the bottom, copy and paste it, and run it in your program. So put it into your program. When you run it, you'll end up with something that looks like this. This was the starting order of our numbers, and this is the numbers sorted from lowest to highest. And now we're going to talk about how it works. Okay, we are starting with I in position 0. So I position 0 is the first position in the array, and that was the number 10. Let's show you what that was again. So that was the number 10. And J is starting one more from I. So J is next to I. And it says if the number at position I is bigger than the one at J, the number at position I bigger than the one at J, then swap them. Now, you might be wondering what's going on with this swap. So let's just make it clear what's happening. We have the number at I, the number at J. If we just say, let's put in I what's in J, we get rid of I, we put in J, and then we try and put in J, the number we had in I, you'll see that it's gone. So that doesn't actually work. So what do we need to do instead? What we need to do instead is we need to have this temporary value. The temporary variable takes the value of what's in I. Okay, so what's in I goes into temp. So it gets the 10. What's in I then gets the number from J. So we'll get rid of the number in I. And we'll put in the number from J. Okay, then the number in J gets the value that was in temp. So this one, we would get rid of the 2, and we put the number that was in temp. So the whole point of temp is to save the initial value so it doesn't get lost. And what we've ended up doing is swapping these two numbers. So now I has a 2 in it, and J has a 10 in it. Okay, what happens next? J keeps going all the way to the end of the list. So J moves along. It used to be in this position. I think I can cut that and paste it somewhere else. So J now moves to here. So we compare the number at I with the number in J. We say, is the number at I bigger than J? The answer is no, so we keep moving. We check the next one. Is the number at I bigger than the number at J? No, keep moving. Check the next one. Is the number at I bigger than the number at J? Yes, so we swap them. We do exactly what we did here. So this number will go into temp, J will go into I, temp will go into J. So the 2 and the 1 end up swapping. So the 1 is now at the front. We keep moving this along. Check the number at I with the number at J. So we're comparing 1 and 13. 1 is not bigger. Move again to the next one. Check 1 and 20. I is not bigger. And move over one last time. Check 1 and 3. I is not bigger, so there's no change. This is known as a bubble sort. So what we did is we bubbled the smallest number up to the front. So that has the very smallest number up at the front. That takes us all the way to the end. So J is now at 8. We finish this loop and go back to here. So I was at 0. I now moves up 1. So I used to be here at the very first position. So we move it over to the next position, and then we repeat the process. So now we're looking at the number in the second position. And we compare the number next to it, and then every number afterwards. Is the 10 bigger than the 4? Absolutely. So 10 and 4 swap. Then move over and check the next one. Is 4 bigger than 7? No. Keep going. Is 4 bigger than 2? Yes. So swap them. The 2 and the 4 are now there. So when you compare the number in the front, we're now looking at 2 compared to numbers. 2 compared to 13, 2 compared to 20, 2 compared to 3. The 2 is now the next of the smallest numbers, and that has been bubbled up to the top. And then you just keep repeating that. As you keep repeating that, what you'll finally end up with is the numbers in order. So you keep bubbling the smallest number to the front, the next smallest, the next smallest. So I goes through the entire list except for the last one. So we have to stop one before the last one. And J starts one beside I and goes all the way to the end. Okay, so what are you doing today? Your job, steal my code, you get for free the numbers in order from lowest to highest. Then if I were you, I would copy the entire sort. So here's the sort where we, whoops, a little too much. Here's the sort where we start at the beginning, go to the end, and if the number at I is bigger, swap them. So your job, copy the sort, paste it, and change it so we can then get the numbers in order from highest to lowest. So when you're done, I'd like to see 3 lists. The numbers at this very initial order, the numbers in order from lowest to highest, and then you're doing highest to lowest. Okay, have fun.